This is an overview of the initial damage estimates, or IDEs, in Cal EOC 360. There are two primary ways to create a new damage estimate. From the Community Home, you can click on the IDE app for a blank form to start fresh. You can also create a new damage estimate from within an incident. Look for the topmost widget in the column along the right side. The IDE widget on the Incident Details page shows up to 3 records and shows a brief overview of the jurisdiction name and totals for Part 1 and Part 2 damages. If the IDE was saved in draft mode, the totals may indicate 0 amounts, indicating the IDE is not yet complete. If there are more than 3 records, the counter in the title bar will say 3+. Access any of the individual IDEs by clicking on the blue IDE number. Access the entire list by clicking on the Initial Damage Estimate title or by the View All link in the lower right corner of that widget. Taking a look at a completed, for training purposes, IDE, we find the overview information at the top, the jurisdiction name, incident name, operational area, and whether this record was created on behalf of another OA. The next sections are for estimating the number of buildings destroyed, have major or minor damage, or were affected, the dollar loss, and the percent insured for each category in Part 1 private property and Part 2 public property. Each of those Parts 1 and 2 sections have a total area that is calculated once the record is saved. There's also a section for Part 3 Other and additional information with a space for comments and the system history. At the bottom of the page is a section for adding related files. Let's start a new IDE from the widget of an event. Starting from an incident widget carries the incident information along. If you were to create a new IDE from the IDE app, you would need to search for the incident name and information. Use the downward-facing triangle button in the title bar to create a new IDE, and that will give you a new IDE window. Note those little red asterisks indicate required fields, so fill in the basic information at the top as required. You can save a draft as needed or continue down the form, filling information as you have it. Click Save when done. From an individual IDE record, you can edit the record to add or update the information. The pencil icons will also let you edit the page with the cursor in the field chosen for easy updating. There's also a printable view button that opens a new tab formatted for printing. Both Edit and Printable View buttons are in the Action area, upper right corner of the page. The IDE record also has a History tab that shows any changes made to that record.
Another thing that we can do here is add initial damage estimates, or IDEs for short. So from your main page, and if you are not on your main page, an easy way to get there is just click the Home button right up here. That'll always get you back to this page with all of your icons. From there, you can go to the IDE board. That is one way to get to IDEs. Almost everything in this system, there's multiple ways to do it. So I'm going to show you a few and kind of why we recommend one way over the other. So clicking on the IDE icon takes you to the IDE board. Now here again, you can see that I am in that recently viewed, which kind of limits what I'm seeing. So I'm going to go ahead and switch that to all just by clicking that little down arrow and switching to all. And if I want this to be the view that always comes up every time I get onto this page, I'm going to go ahead and click that pin. You can see it's up and down, indicating that it is now pinned. You can only have one pinned at a time, but you can switch it as many times as you want. So here I've got my list, and you know what? I don't like the fact that it's cutting off the words here, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap the text. That way I can see it, and you know, I want this one to be just a little bit bigger, so I'm going to move it out. It's just like Excel. You can do a whole bunch of just adjustments here to the spreadsheet. So here you can see all of the different IDEs that are currently in the system. Notice that it is for all different counties, for all different events, all different jurisdictions. If I want to look at any of these, all I have to do is click on the ID number. So over here on the left-hand side, almost every list is like this. The number will get you to the actual record, as it's called, so the actual IDE. If I wanted to go to the incident, I can click on that incident name over here. So there's multiple ways to get there. If I wanted to print this page off, I can click Printable View. That is going to open up a new tab so I don't lose what I'm working on. And it shows this printable view. And you can see that you've got a little bit of customization there. If I wanted to create a new IDE, this is one of the locations I can do it from. I can just click New. It's going to bring up a new IDE page or pop-up. And here I can enter all of the information if I want to. However, there's another way to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and click out of this, and I am going to go back to my incidents. And here I'm still in the recently viewed, but that helps me with what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to click on this particular incident because I want to. You can see I've done some IDEs in here before. So over here in the IDE widget, which should be on the right-hand side of your screen, however, it might be down at the bottom. If you're working on a small screen, portrait view, laptop, or you just have a small window that you're using, then the widgets will eventually move down to the bottom. So just kind of pan down if you don't see them. You can see that I have more than 3 IDEs in this particular incident, indicated by the 3+. So I can go right ahead and click into any IDE that I want from here, or if the one I want is not listed, I can click either the View All or the widget name. Both will take me to the same place. And here you can see it is a list of the IDEs that are attached to this particular incident. Again, I could click New from here. This will open up a new IDE page, and note that the incident name is automatically pulled over from it. The other way to do it, if I didn't want to click into anything, I can just do it from the widget. So I'm going to do a quick shortcut to be able to get back to my incident, and that is right here. Incident name is a hyperlink. So in the widget, to the right of the widget name, this little drop-down arrow, click on it, and it provides options. In this case, I have the option of New. Clicking New, I now have the ability to create a new IDE without having to go into any of the lists. I'm still in my incident, and I'm able to do everything I need to right from here. It pulls the incident name over, it's got my county, the one that I'm signed into, and now I can just enter the information that I want. Whatever jurisdiction is appropriate. So it might be the county, it might be a city, you might be doing it for one little enclave or something. I don't know. It's whatever's appropriate for you. That's what you put in here in jurisdiction. If you are being nice and helping out another OA, you would select their operational area, their county, and you would click creating on behalf of another OA. So that way you can help out if their internet's down or something like that, or they're swamped with people that are doing everything else. So go ahead and enter whatever jurisdiction you would like. I like Heinhold just for fun. And then you can enter any information that you currently have on the incident, how many structures are damaged and things like that, or you can leave it completely blank. That's all right. You might just be creating a bucket to be able to put this information into later. So I'll go ahead and just do that. I'm gonna put this as number 2 so I remember, and click Save when you are done. If you're doing more than one IDE in a row, you can click Save and New. It'll save this one and then open up another new IDE page for you. So once you hit Save, if you didn't have anything in your widget already, it will now show the one that you just put in. So you can click into it if you want to, or if you have already a few in there, you click into your list to be able to find the one you're looking for. That is how to be able to create a new IDE, how to view them from various locations.
This was a brief overview of the initial damage estimate form in our new Cal EOC 360 system. If you have questions, please let us know at rsi.support@caloes.ca.gov.